provide actual professionals in the field that are actually providing these positive results for children as well as young adults and adults.
Frank Cranen joins us today here on the big broadcast. He's a board-certified pharmacist with over 25 years of consultative pharmacy experience, specializing in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, stimulant, and psychiatric medications. He's the author of the book, Over-Medicating Our Youth, a public awareness guide for ADD and psychiatric medications. And the website, as I mentioned, caooy.org. Now, there is a 17-minute preview of the DVD up on YouTube, and a lot of people are just into this nowadays because this is such a big, hot topic. There is a new ADHD assessments to determine the cause of symptoms. Share us some information on that.
Yeah, I'd like to give your audience an understanding that these assessments are very easy to complete for yourself or your child experiencing these behavioral challenges. And for example, James, one easily doable type of an assessment you can do for your child right away. Many parents and educators are not aware that there's millions of neurons that are coming off the spinal cord that are innervating the stomach and small intestine. And those two sites are precursor sites for the manufacturing of our neurotransmitters, which actually help us to think, executive thought processes, focus, and attention. So what we have to realize is that the spinal alignment is one critical assessment, especially in our young children, because at birth, unbeknownst to the parent, your child could have an impinged nervous system energy flow that could, over time, affect behavior. And this is documented. There's many case studies out there across America that many of our young adolescent teenagers, as well as our young children, once you have this assessment done, it's one of many that I talk about in the book and the DVD that you can have done to rule out the causation of these symptoms.
Now, the book is well written. It's you can tell that you really enjoyed the subject. Take me through the writing process for this great book.
Well, James, you know, my son, who's now 22, his best friend passed from bipolar disease, basically an undiagnosed underlying condition that, you know, he developed bipolar late in his teens, and he passed due to suicide at age 20. And what had happened was he was constantly medicated, many different types of antidepressants, many different types of antipsychotic medications before going after what was really going on in his life. And when his parents came to me, you know, after he passed a few months later, lo and behold, he had traumatic brain injury at an early age, developed seizures later in his teens, and it became uncontrolled. But this gets to that physiological assessment I talk about as well in kids and our teenage population. We really have to go after these assessment factors. And, you know, after his death, I decided to let all parents and educators understand that these behaviors, although the symptoms are real, we have to go after the assessment process.
Now, break that down for me, the assessment process. How do we go after that?
Very easy to do, James. It's not a complex scenario at all. There's 3 classifications I talk about in the book, as well as the DVD that's out now. It's nutritional, physiological, and environmental. And I'd like to just really get into those 3. I can go into 2 really quick for your audience.
Yes, jump in there. Jump in there, my friend.
Here's the thing. The nutritional and physiological presentation of a child or young adult battling behavioral conditions really needs to be aggressively done. I just talked about the spinal innervation to the stomach and the intestine where those neurotransmitter precursors are made. Okay, now let's talk about nutrition. Let's see if this child or a young adult is actually taking in good whole food nutrition that has the enzymes, James, that actually, you know, help produce these neurotransmitters. That's number one. And you know as well as I do, every teenager in America, their diet is very poor. It's processed. There's no enzymatic value to it at all. And parents need to realize this now more than ever. They need to wake up and understand nutritional intervention is critical. It's the very first intervention you have to do for your child and your family. So, and then the other part of that, the other swing part of nutrition is that child or young adult eliminating toxins that could harbor in the body over time. And we talk about, natural ways that, the foods and whole foods that actually naturally detox the body every day. I can guarantee you right now, James, our teenage population does not do this. That's why we have 12 million plus children and young adults, straddled down with these symptoms of behavioral challenges.
We're speaking with the head guy over there at Coalition Against Over-Medicating Our Youth. Frank Granite joins us today here on the broadcast, talking about a great book. It is available on Amazon. We're also going to have a link to it on our website at JiggyJaguar.com. He's the author of Over-Medicating Our Youth, the Public Awareness Guide for ADD and Psychiatric Medications. And CAOOY.org is the official website. Talk to me a little bit about Brainwave Optimization.
James, this is phenomenal. Another one of the assessments that I talk about as well, on the DVD especially, I go in depth on that with, letting parents and educators, again, as well as healthcare providers, when they're faced with, God, I just don't know why this child or young adult cannot get back on track. Well, Brainwave Optimization is actually the intervention, if you will, to the problem of neurofeedback. In other words, that the FDA came out 2 short months ago, James, and authorized or actually passed the FDA approval to use neurofeedback, and this deals with the EEG waves. In other words, electroencephalography, which is comparable to the EKG in the heart disease. So it maps out the brain waves. And what happens is, a lot of times in our children with ADHD or autism, their EEG mapping, if you will, is aberrant. It's not normal. And what they do in brainwave optimization, they actually can use it, map those waves out. They use sound frequency. They map it through sound frequency, and it's actually just a very cool phenomenon where you could have intervention when you use these sound frequencies, and children can get those brain waves back in sync or in alignment. So it's another part of the puzzle, if you will. Not the only thing, but it's an enhancement to the other risk factors we're talking about.
We've got a great guest with us today. Frank Granite joins us here on the program. You can get more information on his website. He is just doing some amazing work. And Frank, I appreciate you making time for us today. It's an incredible topic, and I would love to have you back when we have a little bit more time with you to chat. Thanks for being on with us today.
Hey, thanks a lot, James. Have a great day.
Definitely. You too. Appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay.
Frank Granite with us today here on the program, and we are going to take a very quick time out here as we continue to remember 9/11 today here on the program. You can get more information on us over there at talkradiox.com and the Starcom Radio Network. We are going to take a quick time out here. When we come back, we've got more. So keep it locked, keep it loaded to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
We saw the plane veer to the left and fly directly into the South Tower.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Looking back,
second building just